Hey, today we're just going to just share a bit about our journey, but I think to start off with, someone's going to share about her journey in some stages. Again, I think it's, even though I'm married to her, I think it's quite interesting. So I will try and jump in with a little more clarity on stuff as you're sharing, and then we'll see how we get on.
Okay, all right. So, just wanted, as Rob said, just share with you a bit about my journey till this point, and where I came from, I suppose. So, I grew up, as we said before, in the East End of London, and I'm the youngest of 6 children, but my siblings are, we're not close in age. So I really grew up with just my sister, who's 3.5 years older than me, and my mum. My parents divorced when I was very young, and I was one of those children that would visit my dad every Sunday at the weekends, until I got older. And that's another story, but that's another video of why I stopped going to visit my dad at the age of 13. But back to the story. I grew up with my mom and my sister, and went to school and came home. I think I was very a loner. I was a loner. Yeah, I didn't really follow the crowd. I had friends, but I was bullied at school, but not bullied as in I was cowering in the corner. But from the very first day that I started secondary school, which is, if you're watching from another country, that's about the age of 11, 12. The very first day I started, there was a group of girls who decided they just didn't like me. And so they kind of made my life hell for the next 5 years. I had my friends that I'd come from primary school with, and I loved them. They were great friends. We had a good friendship, but there were times when they'd also be friends with those girls that didn't like me. And so I guess I grew up with a sense of mistrust, not knowing on any given day who had my back, if anyone. And so I used to fight my corner. I wasn't, as I said, this sort of willowing, cowering, frightened little girl in the corner, not at all. But inside, I just could have thought of better places to be, to be honest. I did well in school, I did okay. I didn't do as well as I could have done. But as I left school, I went straight into work, and I began dating. I think my first boyfriend, if you could call it that, was around the age of 15, 16. But it was one of those where he would just walk me home from school and that kind of thing. Nothing too serious. My mum didn't like him. And so he never really came to the house. And of course it died out. Nothing came of that. And there were a couple like that. And then there was one guy that my mum really, really liked. He was a nice guy, and my mum really liked him, which meant that I got loads more freedom. Like, I would ask my mum if I could go to a party or hang out at the park or whatever, and she would say, as long as he's with you, it's fine. So I think that relationship lasted probably longer than it would naturally. I don't want to say I was using him, not at all. I liked him. No, I did like him, but it wasn't, I think it did kind of die out.
Okay.
But so then I went into work. I was working in the city, got more independent.
So I'm going to stop you. What country are your parents from? Yeah?
Okay, so my parents are both St. Lucian.
Okay,
yeah.
Cool.
A few people ask, but my parents are both St. Lucian. And there is stuff in the back, like my mum's dad was mixed race.
Okay.
So my mum is like 3/4 black and 1/4 white, Scottish, I believe, but I do want to look into that. And my dad tells me that there's Cuban, Chinese, and he doesn't know which country in Africa, but there's an African country in there, all sorts. So bit of a medley going on there.
Okay.
So where was I?
School,
work. Went into work, and then I was very independent from a very young age because of my parents' divorce, and so the house we grew up in had to be sold, and so I was independent from very young.
Oh, you grew up in a house?
I grew up in a house. Where do you think I grew up, in the woods?
No, I'm just saying, you grew up in a house,
As opposed to what?
Well, I don't know, just a house.
What are you saying?
Did your parents own the house?
Yeah, I mean with a mortgage.
Okay. So you're living life. You're living life now. You're posh. You live in East London, yeah, and your parents own your house.
Do you know what was really annoying? because I wasn't even going to mention this, but I actually bought that house from them.
Okay.
And at the point where I bought it, I found out that they had bought that house for £3,000.
Wow.
Obviously, I think it was something like 24 years prior.
Right.
But it was £3,000, which of course then it would have been a lot of money, but it just felt, you know, compared to what I was buying it for.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I had independence at an early stage, and I say that because what then started to happen was I was getting interest from guys because I had my own place, and there was no parents around to say what you're doing or go home. No tapping of the clock. You know, they come in the room and just give you that look. There was none of that, and so I found that, and I had my own car as well. I got my own car when I was, I think, 17 or 18, and so I was very, very independent. I didn't really depend on anyone, and I was working in a bank as well. So income, I was good. I was okay. Right. Although I have to say, because I had my own place, my own car. Although I earned good money, most of it was going on bills and mortgage payments and everything. So I wasn't rolling in money, but I was okay. So that got a lot of attention from guys. And I would say it was around that time that I began to really resent myself, I think. Okay. I think mixed with the bullying at school, because it transpired that those girls took a dislike to me because I was light-skinned. Okay. And at the time, my hair was relaxed, but it was quite long. And what was on the grapevine was Sonia thinks she's too nice.
Okay, so let me interject here. So, right, we're talking about years ago. So, did you have any attitude when you went to secondary school? Swagger, stushness.
Yeah, I was a bit stush.
Okay, so therefore, I think context. If we look at the picture, was it just that one defining moment? What did you say? Because you were light skinned, or because obviously you weren't the kind of person that would try to friend up people and try to include yourself in what they were doing?
I think, do you know what I think it is? And you could probably even see it now, is that my resting face, it's not naturally very smiley. Okay. You know, so unless I'm actually smiling, my face looks very serious. Right, okay. And if you imagine the first day of school, you walk in, even though you know that there are people from your previous school going to the school, when you actually first walk in, you don't know where they are yet, and you don't even know where you're going. And what was really annoying is I didn't have my new school bag yet. Okay. So I went to school on the first day with a carrier bag.
Okay, so
I probably looked quite vexed.
So then obviously, so again, I think this is quite good because it's almost like therapy as well. Because I think there's aspects of it that obviously, like you say, you described it as a dislike for yourself. Or what'd you say? Use the term.
I began to.
But there might have been, looking at the time, there might be some other factors as well.
Yeah, I think there was. I think there was stuff that was building up within me. That caused me to feel the way I did, but I think at that age as well, from what I could remember, is I had these girls who didn't like me because I thought I was too nice, because I was light skinned and had long hair. This is their words. Then I had guys showing me interest because I was light skinned, and light skin was in fashion then. Yeah, that's right. Dark skinned guys, light skinned girls. No, because they went through stages where there was the Asian looking girls, like the mixed, or just blatant Asian girls. Then it was the beautiful ebony dark skin queens. Yeah. And it goes in stages, and I think that's been the case. But I think at that time, light skin was all the rage. Okay. So I began to resent my light skin because it drew negative attention, both from girls and guys. And then I thought, well, I don't have a choice in this. I didn't ask to be this colour. Light skin did. And then what also happened is, later down the line, when I met a friend in church, although she was born here, but she grew up in Nigeria. Okay. And we became really close friends. So I used to go to a lot of parties and celebrations and things with her. And I used to the women would, they'd look at me like they're examining, is this genuine, whatever. And then the men would be favouring the light-skinned sister, And so even in my adult years, I was still getting the same thing, and it just really. I know some people will feel like, "I'll get over yourself," but to be honest, it began. I wore. I don't know if I should say this on camera.
Go on, it's too late now.
I wore fake tan. For real? Don't laugh at me. I do know this anyway, but I actually started wearing fake tan to darken my skin, to that same Nigerian friend of mine.
Yeah.
She said to me, Sonia, stop. It looks ridiculous. I mean, you're going yellow.
Right.
Although, no, some people call me yellow anyway. But yeah, I kind of stopped. But that, right, I mean, we were together already when I was still doing that.
What? I wasn't. Oh,
Yeah.
You tricked me, man. Oh, wait.
This is why I tell you to take me on holiday more.
Okay.
Yeah, because...
So what age was this then? What age did you get up to? Because I think we're going to...
Or with the fake tan?
No, just in sense of the story so far. What you've been sharing.
Oh, I've kind of jumped ahead. So the bit where I started work and things like that, I started work at 16, 17. And then, and I bought my place and stuff like that. So that was probably around, by now, I'd say by that stage, I'm probably now 18, 19.
So we're going to wrap up this part now.
Yeah.
At the age of 18,
yeah,
working, own your own home,
got
a car, finished education, but serious relationships, boyfriend, girlfriend relationship, would you say you would have had by then?
Serious relationship?
Yeah, serious. Like, you're my boyfriend, not serious, but how serious you can be at 18, but this is my boyfriend, this is my girlfriend, dating type stuff.
I was dating, but I'd say my only serious relationship was you.
No, at the age of 18.
That's what I'm saying. You're my only serious relationship.
So what you're saying
serious, like going somewhere type thing.
Okay, so up to the age of 18, you didn't have one serious boyfriend that you would say was serious?
No, I would date, but then, see, my thing was, you're getting on my nerves, I'm gone.
Okay.
Because of the rejection from my dad at 13.
Perfect time to stop. And I think that's stage one of Sonia's story. Again, I'll be doing the same thing at some stage, sharing part of my journey as well. Again, hope it gives you a bit more insight about who we are and who Sonia is. And then again, it will all kind of come to a point where we talk about how our lives came together and some of the challenges in a bit more depth about how we managed and overcome that and how we're still working through some of that stuff now. 14 and a half years in. All right. Bye.
Bye.